The night wraps around you like a soft, familiar shawl, its darkness both comforting and mysterious, inviting you to leave behind the weight of the day. As you settle into your space, feel the gentle rhythm of your breath, slow and steady, like waves caressing a distant shore. Wherever you are, in this exact moment, I invite you to close your eyes gently, surrendering to the quiet embrace of the night. Let the tension in your body melt away as if the stars themselves are breathing calm into your lungs. Can you sense the stillness that surrounds you? The delicate hush that blankets the world, as if time itself has paused to listen? It is in this sacred silence that stories begin to unfold, stories woven from threads of longing, hope, and unseen connections. I wonder, where are you listening from right now? What hour paints the sky outside your window? The deep blue of midnight, the soft blush of dawn, or the golden hues of twilight? Tonight, we are about to embark on a journey that defies distance and defies time. A story of two souls who meet beyond the borders of the waking world, in the delicate, intangible realm of dreams. It is a place where continents dissolve and hearts find one another in whispers and glances, where touch is a promise felt rather than seen. Before we step into that dreamscape, take a moment to feel your own heartbeat, the quiet pulse that anchors you here and now, even as your mind begins to drift toward a place where reality bends softly. This is your time to unwind, to be carried away by the gentle tides of a story that is as much about you as it is about them. A story of connection, distance, and the invisible threads that bind us all. The air around you feels cool and tender, like the gentle brush of silk against bare skin. You might notice the faint scent of earth after rain, or the subtle whisper of a breeze weaving through the leaves outside. Every small detail becomes a thread in this tapestry of calm that invites your mind to soften, to open. Imagine yourself sinking deeper into this space where time stretches and the boundary between here and there begins to blur. In this moment, your thoughts slow down, floating like delicate feathers on a quiet current. There is no rush, no urgency, only the gentle unfolding of what is to come. Picture a vast sky, speckled with stars that shimmer like distant promises, each one holding a secret story waiting to be told. Somewhere beneath that same sky, another soul lies awake or asleep, perhaps thinking of you, perhaps unaware, but connected nonetheless by the unseen dance of dreams. The world you know, the one made of hours, streets, and calendars, fades softly into the background. Instead, a new world stirs to life, one made of emotions, impressions, and whispered exchanges. It's a realm where two people can speak without words, where the language is the tender brush of a thought, the shared rhythm of a heartbeat. Imagine the thrill of a meeting beyond the constraints of distance, where oceans and continents vanish in the glow of a shared dream. Take a slow breath now, filling your lungs completely, feeling the coolness of the air as it travels deep within you. Let it carry away any tension or noise lingering in your mind. This breath connects you, not only to your own body, but to the quiet pulse of the world around you, and perhaps, just perhaps, to someone else, far away but somehow near, who waits in the same space between waking and dreaming. The night's silence becomes a soft canvas, waiting for the brushstrokes of a story yet to be painted. In the stillness, listen closely. Can you hear the faint echo of footsteps that cross the continents? The tender murmur of a voice calling through the veils of sleep? It is here, in this liminal space, that two hearts prepare to meet, suspended between reality and dream. Imagine now a gentle hand reaching out, not to grasp, but to invite, to touch the edges of a feeling that is both new and ancient. A presence that feels both familiar and mysterious, like a half-remembered melody playing just beyond the reach of waking thought. The kind of connection that lingers long after the eyes open, that leaves a trace in the quiet corners of the soul. As your body sinks further into comfort, and the rhythm of your breath steadies, Allow yourself to drift toward that place, a secret meeting ground where distance is irrelevant, and time folds softly around two souls destined to find each other night after night. You are safe here, cradled by the warmth of possibility, ready to follow where this story will take you. Let go of the day's worries. Let the familiar fade away. Feel the softness of the sheets or the chair that holds you, the gentle pressure of gravity anchoring you, while your spirit floats free. This is your invitation to dream, to explore the delicate, invisible bridge that connects two hearts sleeping worlds apart. The world is quiet now, and the dark sky is alive with possibility. Somewhere, beneath a moonlit sky or a canopy of stars, another person lies still, breathing in sync with you, sharing this very moment. Though miles apart, you are together in a space where distance does not matter, where souls touch in silence, and the night whispers secrets only dreamers can hear. So, with your eyes closed and your mind open, prepare to cross the threshold between worlds. Let the gentle currents of sleep carry you into a story woven from whispers and light, from longing and tender discovery. This journey is yours as much as theirs, a shared voyage through the quiet magic that happens when two hearts meet in the realm of dreams. And as you listen, feel free to leave a soft smile on your lips, a quiet acknowledgement of this moment of connection. Wherever you are, whenever you hear this, know that you are part of something vast and beautiful, a delicate thread linking distant souls in the silent dance of the night. There is a peculiar moment that unfolds just as the veil of sleep begins to lower, when the boundaries of the waking world blur softly and the senses sharpen in unusual ways. It is neither fully awake nor completely surrendered, a delicate, fragile liminal space where time stretches and contracts like the gentle ebb and flow of a distant tide. In this subtle pause, your body sinks into the welcoming softness beneath you, the weight of the day dissolving like morning mist under the sun's first touch. Your breath deepens, slow and rhythmic, flowing as if guided by an unseen hand, and in that current of stillness, something unseen stirs gently within you. It is an impulse, a faint ripple in the fabric of your awareness, not a thought, but a feeling, an intuition that brushes against your skin like the tender caress of a feather, hinting at the presence of another just beyond the veil of dreams. You sense it quietly, a murmur at the edge of perception, like a whisper heard from across a vast expanse, fragile yet undeniably present. Beneath this gentle stirring, warmth rises subtly through your body, spreading from the core outward like the soft glow of embers awakening beneath ash. It is not heat in the conventional sense, but a delicate, electric sensation, a pulse felt not only on the skin, but deep in the marrow, a language of connection that transcends words or reason. The air itself seems to shimmer, alive with an almost imperceptible vibration, as though the very atmosphere around you hums with expectancy. Somewhere within this suspended moment, your consciousness stretches tentatively toward an echo, an unspoken invitation woven through the silent fabric of night. Your mind tries to grasp the shape of this presence, but it slips through like water between fingers, elusive and mysterious, leaving behind only the faintest impression, a fleeting image of a face bathed in soft shadows, a silhouette traced by gentle light, both familiar and unknown. This vision flits through your mind like a moth drawn to a distant flame, fragile and evanescent, yet imbued with a resonance that stirs something deep inside. As your body softens further into the embrace of sleep, muscles loosening in slow surrender, your skin tingles with a curious sensitivity, heightened as if tuned to an invisible frequency. There is a palpable electric charge that dances just beneath the surface, a subtle current that weaves through your nerves and awakens a primal awareness of being seen, being touched, though no physical contact occurs. You become keenly aware of the paradoxical closeness and distance, the vastness that separates you by miles and oceans, yet the intimacy that draws you closer with invisible threads. Somewhere, Under a sky painted with stars unfamiliar, yet somehow kindred, another heart beats quietly, pulsing in delicate harmony with your own, connected across the silence by a fragile, shimmering bond. This delicate tether hums softly in the space between worlds, a lifeline spun from longing, mystery, and something ineffably profound. Your breath takes on a cadence that mirrors the slow, deliberate unfolding of the night itself, rising and falling like waves that caress a remote shore in a forgotten place. Each inhale is a silent greeting, an unspoken acknowledgement of the other's presence, while each exhale carries a tender invitation, a release that beckons the unseen closer into the sanctuary of your dreamscape. The rhythm becomes a dance, a subtle exchange played out in the quiet language of breath and heartbeat, weaving a tapestry of connection that defies the tangible. Despite the vast expanse that separates you, thousands of miles, different cultures, sunrises and sunsets, your spirits lean toward one another, drawn magnetically by a force both ancient and new. It is a pull that has no name, a sensation woven from threads of desire, hope, and a deep yearning for recognition. In this fragile space suspended between wakefulness and sleep, your mind sifts through sensations and emotions that defy precise definition. Anticipation swells quietly beneath the surface, mingling with wonder and a curious sense of homecoming, as if you have stumbled upon a place you never knew you were seeking. There is an unspoken promise in the air, a gentle unfolding of possibility that stretches beyond the limits of logic or geography. Time seems to unravel itself, folding and bending until moments stretch into eternity, and space contracts until the vast distance between continents feels as near as a whispered breath. This hidden room, forged in the silence of night, becomes a sacred meeting place, a refuge where two souls can encounter one another, free from the constraints of the physical world, unbound by geography or circumstance. Outside this cocoon of quiet, the world ceases to intrude. The noises of daily life fade into an indistinct murmur, replaced by the hum of a connection delicate yet vibrant. Here, in this sacred limbo, a single spark is born, small and fragile, but alive with the potential to ignite a flame that will illuminate the shadows to come. Your heart holds a silent question, tender and unvoiced, an invitation cast softly into the unknown, waiting to be answered in the wordless dialogue of dreams. It is a moment pregnant with possibility, a pause heavy with meaning, as two lives begin to stir toward an encounter that will ripple across the distances, weaving their stories into a shared, shimmering thread. The quiet magic in the way, shadows fold softly across your room as sleep deepens, a gentle curtain that separates the tangible from the imagined. Within this veil, colors become muted and sounds distant, yet the world inside your mind grows vivid and alive. It is here that impressions take form, sensations of warmth, coolness, a whisper of breath on skin not your own. You feel a pull, subtle but insistent, like the soft tug of a tide calling you toward an unseen shore. This sensation is not merely physical. It resonates deeply within, a silent murmur that awakens memories you cannot name and feelings that ripple through the quiet chambers of your heart. The texture of the air changes, almost imperceptibly, as if it carries the scent of distant places, the faint hint of sea salt mingling with the earthy aroma of rain-soaked soil. These fragrances are not confined to one geography, but blend into a dreamscape where the borders between here and elsewhere dissolve. You imagine the other side of this connection, a presence just beyond your reach, yet so intimately near. Somewhere across the world, under a sky draped with unfamiliar constellations, another soul lies suspended in the same twilight between worlds, breathing in sync with your own. The thought paints a tender smile on your lips, a secret shared between two hearts awake in the same quiet night. Your mind drifts through fleeting images, the soft curve of a smile, the warmth of an embrace yet to be given, the spark in eyes that speak without words. These visions are delicate as gossamer threads, fragile and shimmering, weaving an unspoken story between two distant dreamers. Though the faces remain blurred, the emotions they carry are vivid and real. The ache of yearning, the sweetness of recognition, the thrill of possibility. In this suspended moment, time bends, allowing two lives separated by continents to brush gently against each other in the silent poetry of dreams. Beneath these sensations lies a deep, almost sacred stillness, a calm that permeates every fiber of your being. It is the space where your heart feels both guarded and open, where vulnerability meets courage in a dance as old as time itself. You become aware of your own pulse, slow, steady, grounding, and in that rhythm, you find a strange comfort, a reminder that even in solitude, you are connected. The invisible thread that links you to the other stretches taut and tender, a bridge woven from whispers, breaths, and the quiet language of souls who seek one another in the silence. As sleep cradles you further, the sensation of presence grows stronger, not as a tangible figure, but as an energy that wraps around you like a silk shawl, warm and reassuring. It is as if a hand brushes your hair back from your face with infinite gentleness, a touch that speaks of understanding, of promises made beyond words. You surrender to this feeling, letting it wash over you like a tide of quiet longing, aware that this connection will linger long after you awaken, a delicate imprint on your spirit that calls you back night after night. The sensation deepens, growing with a subtle intensity that is both exhilarating and soothing, like the first light of dawn filtering through a heavy curtain. Your senses awaken in this twilight realm, attuned to the faintest sounds, the whisper of leaves stirred by a night breeze, the distant murmur of waves caressing a shore miles away. It is as if the world itself conspires to create a sacred space for this silent communion, a place where two hearts, though oceans apart, begin to beat in gentle synchrony. You feel a delicate vibration beneath your skin, a tender resonance that speaks of presence, of a shared longing carried softly on the wings of the night. In this realm between sleep and wakefulness, the concept of distance dissolves into insignificance. The miles, the time zones, the borders that separate you fade into a blurred background, replaced by a feeling of closeness that transcends the physical. You imagine the other there, perhaps in a room bathed in moonlight, or under the fading glow of a setting sun, and wonder what thoughts cross their mind as you drift toward this shared dream. It is a mystery wrapped in quiet wonder, an invisible thread pulling you gently forward into the unfolding story that belongs to both of you. Your mind plays with images that are at once vivid and elusive, the soft brush of fingertips across a wrist, the warmth of a breath shared in silence, a glance that lingers long enough to spark 1,000 unspoken words. These moments flicker like candlelight in a dim room, casting shadows that dance and sway, revealing fragments of a connection deeper than either of you had dared to imagine. The emotions swell within you, anticipation, tenderness, a quiet fire that burns steady and sure, lighting the way through the darkness. It is a sensation both new and ancient, a language without words spoken between souls who have known each other beyond this life. In this suspended state, you become acutely aware of your own vulnerability, the softness beneath your skin, the rapid flutter of your heart, the small sighs that escape unbidden. Yet within that vulnerability lies strength, the courage to open yourself to the unknown, to the possibility of connection that defies all logic. You feel cradled by the night, held safe in the arms of something larger, something invisible, yet profoundly real. It is a quiet promise whispered by the darkness, an invitation to trust in the delicate magic that binds you to another soul, even if you have never met. The moment of awakening within the dreamscape feels like stepping through a veil, as if crossing from shadow into light. It begins with a shimmer in the air, a gentle ripple that distorts the space around you, softening edges and coloring everything with a warm, golden hue. You find yourself standing on a threshold, neither here nor there, where the familiar blends with the mysterious. In this in-between place, you sense the presence before you see it, a quiet energy, like the calm before a gentle storm. The air hums softly with anticipation, charged with an unspoken promise that something profound is about to unfold. You breathe deeply, tasting the faint scent of jasmine and earth, and step forward with a mixture of wonder and quiet courage. The figure emerges gradually from the haze, outlined first by the soft glow that seems to radiate from within them. Their movements are fluid and unhurried, as if guided by a rhythm only they can hear. You notice the way the light plays on their features, the gentle curve of a smile, the subtle tilt of the head, the way their eyes catch the dream's faint luminescence, like polished glass reflecting starlight. There is a magnetic pull in their gaze, drawing you closer without force, inviting you to bridge the gap between your worlds. Though their face is unfamiliar, it carries a sense of home, a quiet recognition that stirs something deep in your chest. You feel your heartbeat quicken, a tender flutter that echoes the slow rhythm of the night. As you take a tentative step toward each other, the space between you seems to breathe, contracting and expanding like the ebb and flow of the ocean's tides. The air is thick with unspoken words and soft glances, the silence speaking volumes more than any language could. You notice the texture of the ground beneath your feet, cool, soft moss that cushions every step and carries the faint aroma of pine and rain. The world around you feels suspended, as if time itself has paused to witness this delicate moment. You are keenly aware of the warmth radiating from the other, a heat that seeps into your skin and seeps deeper, melting away layers of doubt and hesitation. There is an electricity in the shared stillness, a tension woven from longing and the thrill of discovery. Your eyes meet fully now, no longer veiled by shadows or uncertainty. You see in them a mirror of your own feelings, the quiet yearning, the tentative hope, the promise of something waiting to bloom. A soft breeze stirs the air, carrying with it the scent of rain-soaked earth and distant blossoms, and you reach out almost instinctively, fingertips grazing as if to confirm the reality of this connection. The contact is feather-light, a whisper of touch that sends ripples through your senses, awakening memories you thought were lost to time. Words are unnecessary here. The language of the dream transcends speech, spoken instead in glances, gestures, and the subtle dance of breath mingling in shared space. You feel the rise and fall of their chest beneath your hand, the faint rhythm that speaks of life and presence, fragile yet fiercely alive. Around you, the dreamscape shimmers with muted colors and soft edges, a canvas painted in hues of dusk and dawn. It is a world built from the delicate threads of your combined imaginings, a place where vulnerability is embraced and the barriers between souls dissolve like morning mist. In this sacred space, the impossible feels possible, and the vast distances that separate your waking lives vanish into insignificance. The sensation of being truly seen, not just in the physical form, but in the deepest essence, washes over you like a gentle tide, soothing fears and igniting quiet joy. You sense a shared history woven not from years, but from moments like this, moments suspended in time and space, where two spirits touch and recognize each other beyond words. The air hums with the quiet music of connection, a melody that plays softly beneath the surface of the dream. As you stand there, enveloped in this fragile harmony, the world beyond the dream fades to a distant murmur, and all that remains is the tender reality of presence and possibility. A soft smile curves the lips of the other, a gesture imbued with warmth and invitation. You feel your own face soften in response, the tension of separation melting away with each breath shared in this silent communion. The space between you feels charged with a gentle energy, a current that pulses quietly yet insistently, urging you to explore the boundaries of this dream and the depths of your connection. You sense that this meeting is only the beginning, a prologue to a story that will unfold in the spaces between sleep and waking, bridging continents and hearts alike. And in that knowledge, A delicate hope blossoms, fragile yet steadfast. The landscape around you seems to breathe along with you, leaves shimmering softly as if stirred by an invisible hand. The faint murmur of a stream weaving through the background like a lullaby. You reach out again, this time with more certainty, and your fingers intertwine gently. The touch is light as a sigh, yet resonant with meaning. The warmth spreads through your hand, climbing your arm like sunlight, spilling over a hill at dawn. In this simple act, the distance feels less daunting, the unknown less intimidating. You are reminded that connection need not be bound by physical proximity, that souls can meet in places unseen and unheard by the waking world. As the dream deepens, you find yourselves walking side by side along a path lined with soft moss and wildflowers, the air fragrant with the scent of rain and pine. The silence between you is comfortable, filled with unspoken understanding and the gentle exchange of glances that speak volumes. You notice the way their eyes catch the light, reflecting a mixture of curiosity and tenderness that mirrors your own feelings. Every step feels like a step towards something inevitable yet tender, a journey that promises discovery and the unfolding of a delicate bond forged in the quiet moments of shared dreams. You become aware of the subtle shifts in the dream, colors growing richer, sounds sharper, sensations more vivid, as if your connection is drawing energy from the very fabric of this realm. The air hums softly with possibility, charged with the delicate thrill of first encounters and the promise of what lies beyond. You feel a gentle breeze brush past your cheek, carrying the scent of distant blossoms and fresh earth, grounding you in this surreal yet intimate world. Your hand still entwined with theirs, you sense the electric pulse of presence, the quiet assurance that, despite the miles and time zones, this meeting is real in a way that transcends the waking world. In this suspended space, you share not only presence, but fragments of your inner worlds, memories, dreams, hopes, woven together in a tapestry that grows richer with each passing moment. The dream flows around you like a gentle river, carrying you forward while holding you safe, enveloping you in its tender embrace. You notice the softness of their voice as it touches your ear, a melody more felt than heard, filled with warmth and quiet longing. The words remain unspoken, yet their meaning is clear. You are not alone in this journey, and together you will explore the mysteries that bind your souls across the divide. The dream shifts subtly again, revealing a small clearing bathed in the silvery glow of moonlight, where wildflowers sway gently in an unseen breeze. Here, the connection feels deeper, rooted in a shared desire to understand and to be understood. The other's gaze holds yours with an intensity that is both grounding and uplifting, a silent promise that this meeting is but the first chapter in a story that will unfold with the slow grace of a blossoming flower. You feel your chest rise and fall in sync, the rhythm of your breaths weaving together like threads of light in the darkness. In this moment, time seems to stretch, allowing you to savor the delicate details, the softness of their hair, the warmth radiating from their skin, the subtle scent that clings to the dream like a whisper of something precious. You sense the layers beneath the surface, the vulnerabilities and strengths that define them, mirrored in your own soul's reflection. The dream space becomes a sanctuary, a place where masks fall away and true selves emerge, revealing the raw and tender heart that beats beneath the surface. As the dream begins to wane, a gentle melancholy tinges the air, the inevitable awareness of waking world boundaries looming on the horizon. Yet, even as the dreamscape softens and edges blur once more, the connection remains, a glowing ember nestled deep within your spirit, a beacon of hope and anticipation. You carry this fragile light with you as you prepare to return to the waking world, knowing that it will guide you back to this sacred meeting place, night after night. The last moments before waking stretch out like a soft sigh, a lingering touch that leaves your skin tingling and your heart full. You hold on to the memory of their gaze, the feel of their hand, the quiet promise exchanged in silence. Though separated by continents and realities, you know that in this shared dream space, distance is no barrier. You awaken with a gentle smile, the echo of connection reverberating softly within you, a quiet invitation to close your eyes once again and return to the meeting place where two souls communicate beyond time and space. As the nights pass and the dream meetings become a steady rhythm, a subtle shift takes place within your heart, a slow unfurling of feeling, like the first blush of dawn touching a quiet garden. The memory of their presence lingers long after waking, weaving itself into your thoughts with the softness of a gentle breeze. You find yourself drawn to the sensations that accompany these encounters, the warmth that blooms beneath your skin, the fluttering of anticipation in your chest, the quiet yearning that hums beneath the surface of your consciousness. It is a longing that transcends words, a silent conversation carried through the veil of sleep, growing richer and more profound with every meeting. In your waking hours, their image appears unbidden, a fleeting glimpse in a crowd, a shadow in a sunbeam, the echo of a smile in a stranger's face. These fragments, elusive yet persistent, swirl through your mind like leaves caught in a slow current, each one carrying the faint scent of jasmine and earth that has become the signature of your shared dreamscape. The pull you feel is magnetic, subtle but insistent, drawing you deeper into the mystery of this connection that defies distance and logic. With each breath, you carry a piece of their energy with you, a gentle tether that binds you to the promise of something unfolding beyond the reach of time. The dreams themselves grow more vivid and textured, layers of color and sensation unfolding like petals in bloom. You become acutely aware of the details, the way their eyes catch the moonlight, the soft brush of their hair against your cheek, the quiet rhythm of their breath mingling with your own. The dream world seems to respond to your shared longing, colors brightening, scents intensifying, sounds sharpening in a symphony of sensation that wraps around you like a silken veil. This shared space becomes a sanctuary where vulnerability is met with tenderness, and the unspoken language between you deepens into something both intimate and expansive. Your heart carries a tender ache, the delicious tension of desire tempered by the mystery of separation. There is a sweetness in the not knowing, a beauty in the anticipation that stretches beyond the dream into the waking day. You catch yourself tracing the contours of their imagined face with your fingertips, feeling the ghost of a touch that lingers on your skin like the memory of a warm rain. The space between you becomes charged with potential, a delicate dance of proximity and distance that heightens every sensation, every sigh, every heartbeat. It is a longing that is as much about connection as it is about discovery, a journey inward as much as it is outward. In quiet moments, you find yourself whispering their name into the stillness, a fragile incantation carried on the breath of the night. The sound of it feels sacred, a prayer woven from hope and desire, spoken softly into the darkness where only the stars bear witness. You imagine their voice answering, low and warm, a melody that echoes in your soul long after the dream fades. This exchange, though silent and unseen, becomes a lifeline, a thread of light that stretches across oceans and continents, linking your hearts in a dance that defies time and space. The yearning you feel begins to seep into your dreams in new ways, a brush of hands not yet fully touched, a shared smile that lingers just a moment too long, the sensation of breath mingling close enough to feel. Each night, the dreamscape shifts subtly, weaving new scenes of closeness and tenderness that leave your heart fluttering with anticipation. The tension between presence and absence is electric, charged with the promise of what might be, a slow-burning fire that warms your soul even in the coldest hours. It is a delicate balance between hope and restraint, desire and reverence, played out in the silent theater of dreams. You notice how the world around you, both awake and asleep, seems to bend gently to accommodate this growing bond. Songs on the radio take on new meanings, colors catch your eye with fresh intensity, and the scent of rain or earth triggers a cascade of memories from the dream realm. Even the smallest details carry weight, charged with the quiet electricity of shared longing. It is as if the universe itself conspires to keep this connection alive, threading it through the fabric of your days and nights, a secret dance known only to your hearts. With every meeting, you feel yourself peeling back layers of fear and doubt, revealing a core of vulnerability wrapped in fragile hope. The dream encounters become a space of safety and courage, where you can explore the depths of your feelings without judgment or hesitation. You find comfort in the unspoken understanding that grows between you, a silent promise that whatever the future holds, this connection is real and vital. It is a sanctuary where your heart can unfold slowly, nurtured by the tenderness that blooms in the spaces between dreams. The image of their hands lingers in your mind, the softness of their fingertips, the warmth that radiates from their touch, even in absence. You imagine the gentle pressure of their palm against your skin, the subtle caress that speaks of trust and longing. These sensations become anchors, holding you steady as the tides of emotion rise and fall. You realize that this attraction is more than physical. It is a meeting of souls, a deep recognition that transcends the confines of body and place. It is a call to open yourself fully to the mystery unfolding between you. In these moments, the world outside seems to fade, and you find yourself suspended in a gentle current of feeling, a river flowing between heartbeats, carrying you toward a horizon only visible in the quiet depths of night. The longing you harbor is not hurried or desperate. It is patient and profound, a steady flame that burns softly yet unwaveringly. You sense that this journey is as much about self-discovery as it is about connection, a path that winds through dreams and waking life alike. And as you close your eyes each night, you carry with you the quiet hope that this bond, forged in the silence of sleep, will continue to grow, illuminating the spaces between continents and hearts. The softness of their gaze, the curve of their smile, the warmth of their presence, all these details settle gently into your memory, becoming a part of the quiet soundtrack of your days. You find yourself recalling the feel of their breath against your skin, the subtle rise and fall of their chest in rhythm with your own. These sensations become a balm, a source of comfort and strength when the waking world feels heavy or uncertain. The connection you share in dreams becomes a lighthouse, guiding you through the fog of everyday life with its steady, unwavering light. Even as reality asserts itself with the dawn, you carry the imprint of their presence in your heart, a soft glow that lingers beneath the surface of your thoughts. The memory of your shared dreams is a refuge, a secret garden where you can retreat when the world feels overwhelming. You sense that this bond is something rare and precious, a gift woven from the threads of longing, trust, and quiet joy. It is a connection that defies logic and geography, a meeting of souls that will continue to unfold in the space between sleep and waking. The sensation of anticipation grows richer, layered with the tenderness of trust and the thrill of discovery. Each new dream is a chapter unfolding, revealing more of the intricate tapestry that binds you together. You find yourself longing not only for the next encounter, but for the unfolding story, a narrative written in the language of shared glances, whispered breaths, and the subtle dance of two hearts learning to know each other across the distance. It is a story that holds both mystery and promise, a slow-burning flame that warms even the coldest nights. Your dreams become a sanctuary where time loses meaning and the usual constraints of distance dissolve into nothingness. In this sacred space, you and the other become explorers, venturing deeper into the landscapes of each other's hearts and minds. You feel the thrill of discovery with each passing moment, a smile shared in silence, a touch imagined and felt, a breath held in anticipation. These encounters become a delicate dance of presence and absence, vulnerability and strength, desire and reverence, unfolding like petals kissed by morning light. As the nights stretch on, you find yourself embracing this growing attraction with an open heart, allowing it to guide you gently through the mysteries that lie ahead. The dream world becomes a canvas on which you paint the delicate strokes of connection, vulnerability, and hope. You sense that this bond, nurtured in the quiet spaces between continents and time zones, is something extraordinary. A meeting of souls that transcends the boundaries of the physical and touches the eternal. The first time you feel their breath upon your skin, it startles something deep within you, not from fear, but from recognition, a visceral remembering of something once felt and longed for. In the dream, the distance between your bodies narrows not through movement, but through magnetism. You're standing still, yet the space grows smaller, as if the air itself contracts with longing. Their breath is warm, a whisper of wind tracing your cheek, sending a delicate shiver through your spine. You don't move, not yet, but every cell in your body leans subtly toward them, drawn by the unspoken invitation, carried in the hush between your heartbeats. The dreamscape around you seems to quiet itself, as though nature, too, is holding its breath. The leaves above remain still, and the distant stream softens its murmur. You feel their presence behind you, close, unannounced, yet unmistakable, like the sun rising behind closed eyes. They do not speak, but you hear them. Not in words, but in sensation, in the subtle pull of your awareness toward their warmth, the way your skin becomes conscious of its own surface. When their hand hovers near your shoulder, not quite touching, just near enough to create heat, the tension becomes tangible, sweet and aching, a question suspended in the air. And then there is the touch. A brush of fingers along the curve of your arm, so light it feels imagined. A flicker of sensation, more emotion than contact. But it's real. Your skin tingles, waking into awareness under that trace. You exhale slowly, unsure whether the breath is a release or a plea. The connection is electric, yet quiet, like a spark glowing beneath velvet. You don't turn to look at them. Instead, you close your eyes, because seeing might break the spell, might pull you back to your body, sleeping miles away. But in this moment, you are wholly here, and so are they. Their palm finds your hand with a tenderness so patient it nearly undoes you. Fingers curl gently around yours, and you feel the pulse at the base of their thumb, slow, steady, unmistakably human. It surprises you how intimate this small touch feels, more so than any kiss could. There is reverence in the way they hold you, not to claim, but to listen, to learn the language your skin speaks without words. And your hand answers, molding itself softly to theirs, fitting like something ancient remembered. The silence between you deepens, made sacred by this quiet contact. The dream shifts subtly, and you find yourselves seated beneath the arching boughs of a tree that wasn't there before. The air is dappled with the soft light of a moon that glows like a pearl suspended in a velvet sky. They sit close, not touching, but near enough that your awareness is pulled toward every movement they make, the rise and fall of their chest, the slight shift of their legs, the breath that brushes your arm when they speak. You find yourself speaking now too, softly, not with words, but with the way your bodies align, how your knees nearly meet, how your fingers twitch with the memory of their touch. When your thighs graze for the first time, almost nothing, just fabric against fabric. A silent current runs through you. The contact is accidental, maybe, but the stillness that follows is not. They don't pull away, and neither do you. Instead, time stretches, expands around that single point of contact. Your pulse drums quietly in your ears, not loud, but undeniably present. You shift just slightly, letting your leg rest more fully alongside theirs, and they mirror the movement. You feel the weight of them beside you, warm, grounded, real. The dream thickens with awareness, charged and tender all at once. A breeze stirs, cool and fragrant with lavender, and the chill lifts goosebumps along your arm. Without a word, they draw closer. You feel their body beside yours, like a shield against the wind, and your shoulders touch. The contact is slow, respectful, but you feel its power in the way your breath catches. Your bodies are no longer adjacent, but aligned, leaning ever so slightly together. You feel their warmth seeping into you, and in that warmth, something ancient stirs, a desire not only for closeness, but for stillness in that closeness, for the comfort of being understood without being explained. Their hand finds your face, palm open, fingertips trailing gently down the curve of your cheek. It's not a gesture of possession, but of quiet reverence, the kind of touch that honors what it discovers. You feel the heat of their skin, the slight tremble in their fingertips, and you lean into it, letting your eyes close, trusting the contact. Your heart opens wide in that moment, not with drama, but with surrender, as if this touch is the key to a door you didn't know was waiting to be unlocked. A sigh leaves your lips, uninvited but welcome, and in its wake, a silence deeper than sleep. You sense their breath near your neck, the way the air shifts with each exhale, and it makes your skin sing. The tension is no longer about distance, but about nearness, about the awareness of every inch, every point where you do not yet touch but could. There's a sacredness in this restraint, a mutual understanding that the space between is not empty, but electric. Their fingers trace along your collarbone, barely there, mapping the curves of your being as if memorizing your presence for the waking world. You remain still, not frozen, but completely open, receiving them as if you were always waiting. When they place their forehead gently against yours, it is not passion that overtakes you, but peace. A stillness descends, luminous and weightless, as if the entire dream was building toward this moment. You feel the alignment, not only of bodies, but of breath, of intention, of some deeper rhythm that hums beneath thought. Your hands are still clasped, your shoulders touching, and in this simple, quiet union, you feel the echo of something vast. It is a connection born not of urgency, but of depth, the kind that doesn't need to be spoken to be understood. The dream deepens into quiet exploration. You lie side by side now, not out of lust, but longing, a longing for presence, for nearness, for the comfort of simply existing in tandem. Your fingers rest on their arm, tracing the line of muscle and bone, marveling at the solidity, the truth of them. Their hand rests on your waist, steady and warm, and you feel your breath slow, drawn into sync with theirs. There is no rush here, no need to move forward quickly. The pleasure lies in stillness, in the knowledge that this connection is both delicate and indestructible. The tension between you is no longer uncertain, but chosen. With each glance, each pause, each subtle lean, you both say, "I'm here, and I see you." Their fingers brush the hollow beneath your ear, and your body leans into the contact like a flower turning to sunlight. You feel seen, not just in body, but in soul, as if they are reading the unspoken stories written along your skin, learning you through gentle touches and soft breath. This is intimacy as understanding, as listening, as the meeting of silent truths shared in the dark. They take your hand again, but this time guide it gently to their own chest, letting you feel the steady beat beneath your palm. You press your hand there and close your eyes. That heartbeat, so steady, so quiet, anchors you. It feels like the most intimate truth they could share. You realize how vulnerable this moment is, and how sacred, and you keep your hand there a while, not moving, simply feeling. Their breath shifts, deepening, and you know they're feeling your presence too, not only skin to skin, but spirit to spirit. The space around you darkens softly, the sky overhead becoming a blanket of stars that seem to pulse with your shared rhythm. You lie back together, shoulders brushing, gazing upward, and your hands remain linked across the soft moss. The night air is cool, but you are warm, wrapped in the glow of connection. Neither of you speaks, and there is no need to. Your bodies speak for you, in breaths, in sighs, in the small movements that say, "I am here, I am listening, I want to stay." The tension is no longer about will they, but how long can we? And when the dream begins to dim, Your body's still close. Their touch lingers like a secret kept in the skin. You don't want to let go, not of their hand, not of this nearness, and they seem to sense that, holding your fingers just a little tighter before the light shifts and your awareness begins to drift. But before waking, you feel it one more time. Their lips not quite on yours, but near, as if dreaming the shape of the kiss they dare not take yet. It is promise, held delicately in silence, a kiss suspended in breath, waiting for the right night. It begins in a moment so quiet, it could be missed. The way their gaze lingers just a second longer, the way your name rests on their lips before they speak it. The dream is still, painted in the soft hues of twilight, and the air holds a weight, not heavy, but expectant. You're sitting beside them, closer than usual, and there's a silence that feels different, not empty, but full of something that hasn't yet been spoken. You feel it rising in your chest, slow and certain, a tide of feeling that has lived too long in the shadows. You know they feel it too. It's there in the way their fingers twitch before finding yours, in the way they breathe your name like a secret held too tightly for too long. Their voice, when it comes, is softer than before, a murmur that feels more like thought than speech. I don't know how this is possible, they say, and your chest tightens with recognition, because you don't either, not truly. But you feel it, this presence, this connection, as real as your own breath. They look at you, not searching for answers, but offering themselves in the asking. In that look, you see it all, the confusion, the wonder, the fear, the longing, the need to speak the truth aloud, even if only in dreams. And so you nod, not to explain but to accept. Whatever this is, it's real, and it's growing. You speak then, halting at first, afraid your voice might break the spell. You tell them about the mornings you wake with your hand reaching for someone who isn't there, how songs sound like memories of things that never happened, how your body has begun to crave a presence your mind still can't explain. The words tumble from you, not rehearsed but honest, raw in their simplicity, and as you speak, their eyes soften. They reach for your hand, covering it with their own, and the weight of that gesture settles something inside you that's been restless for far too long. There's a pause after your confession, long and gentle. They're silent, but not distant. They're listening with their whole presence, the way someone does when the words matter more than the silence they break. Then they speak, low and careful, like the truth might shatter if touched too abruptly. I feel it too, they say. Every time I dream of you, I wake feeling like I've lost something real. And those words, simple as they are, land in your chest with the force of something you've been waiting to hear without knowing it. You close your eyes and let the truth settle there, shared, sacred, seen. The air thickens with feeling, not tension, but intensity. You both sit quietly, eyes locked, hands still joined. Between you, a shared vulnerability hums, delicate and powerful. This is the moment where everything changes, though nothing moves. They speak again, and this time their voice trembles. I don't know who you are, not really, but I feel like I've always known you. I've dreamed of you before this, before I even knew dreams could carry this kind of weight. Their confession lands gently, like snowfall, and in its softness something ancient stirs, a recognition that goes beyond memory into something older. You breathe in, letting their words fill the space between you. Sometimes, you whisper, I feel like you're the reason I fall asleep so easily now. Like my body knows it will find you there. The vulnerability in your voice surprises even you. You rarely speak so plainly, so openly. But here, in this place between night and knowing, there's no need to guard yourself. They smile, not widely, but deeply. And that smile reaches you like sunlight on cold skin. You feel warmed from the inside, as if your truth was a seed finally met with light. The dream begins to shift, the colors softening, a background fading into a warm blur. You and they remain in sharp relief, the only constants in this dissolving world. You reach out, slowly, touching their cheek with the back of your fingers. The contact is brief, but charged. "I don't want this to be only a dream," you say, and the truth of it surprises you, not because you didn't know it, but because now you've said it out loud. They lean into your touch, closing their eyes, and when they open them again, there is fire there. Gentle, but undeniable. "There are moments when I feel you before I fall asleep," they say, "like you're waiting for me." And you feel your heart answer, wordlessly. You felt it too, the quiet pull as you close your eyes, the sense of being summoned without knowing by whom. You nod, unable to speak for a moment, your throat thick with emotion. Your fingers find theirs again, not because you need to hold them, but because you need to be held in the knowing that this connection is not imagined. It is lived, night after night, breath by breath. They exhale slowly, their breath warm against your cheek, and the space between you narrows. There's no kiss, not yet, but something passes between you that's just as intimate. The knowledge of wanting, not in the desperate, urgent way of impulse, but in the rooted, reverent way of something chosen. "I think I knew you before this life," they whisper, and your breath stills. The words stir something dormant in your chest, a memory not quite remembered, but felt. You nod slowly, because yes, that feels true. You find yourself leaning in, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. You rest your forehead against theirs, and the closeness is overwhelming in its tenderness. Your hands stay locked, heart to heart. "Whatever this is," you say, "it matters. Even if I never find your waking face, this matters." They whisper your name then, soft and slow, as if tasting it, as if sealing it into their memory. That moment, suspended in stillness, holds everything: longing, hope, truth, desire, wrapped in the quiet acceptance of what is, even without knowing what will be. A tear slips down your cheek, not from sadness, but from relief. To be seen, to be felt, to be acknowledged. It's not a love born of moments or memories, but of connection, pure and immediate. They reach up to brush it away, and their touch is reverent. Not just the pad of their thumb, but the tenderness with which they hold your face, as though cradling something holy. You close your eyes, surrendering to the feeling of being understood, and in that surrender, something within you finally exhales. You tell them something you've never said aloud, not even to yourself, that in your loneliest hours, their presence has become your refuge, that you have stopped feeling alone since they appeared in your nights. They listen, not with surprise, but with that quiet, unwavering attention that only love or something very near to it can give. Their expression softens into something like awe, and you feel that awe mirrored in yourself. Because what are the chances? What are the odds that two souls could meet like this, across oceans and dreams? Sometimes, they say, voice barely audible, "I wonder if I made you up," and then you speak, and I know I couldn't have. The vulnerability in their words wraps around you like a blanket. You've wondered the same, haven't you? But each dream proves otherwise. Each night, you come back to this shared space, to this conversation that continues without end. You smile, a soft, knowing curve of your lips, and reply, "If I'm a dream, I don't want to wake up." Their laughter, low, breathy, full of feeling, fills the dreamscape, and in it, joy blooms. You lie beside them again, and they curl slightly toward you, protective without enclosing. You feel the steady beat of their presence, their warmth, their nearness, their energy, and you say, "I think I'm beginning to love you." The words fall into the space like petals, soft and quiet, but undeniable. There is no fear in the saying, only peace. They take your hand and kiss your knuckles, and then your wrist, and then simply hold you. "I think I already do," they answer. And the dream stills in that moment, as if the entire world is holding its breath to let it echo. The sky overhead darkens to a deep indigo, and stars begin to shimmer in constellations neither of you recognize. You lie beneath them, hands linked, hearts exposed. There are no more words needed now, only breath and the silence of two people who have finally spoken what was aching to be heard. And as the dream slowly begins to fade, you know that something fundamental has changed, not just between you, but within you. A truth has been named. A desire, once hidden, has found voice. And now that it has, it will never go quiet again. The dream begins with a warmth, not external, but rising from within. A quiet hum beneath your ribs, as if your body has become a tuning fork to their presence. You sense them before you see them, the familiar pull that stirs the air around you into something charged. The sky is low, painted in deep indigos and bruised violets, and the world around you seems to pulse in rhythm with your breath. When they appear, not walking, but arriving, your chest tightens with recognition. This time feels different. Heavier, brighter, as though something unspoken has already been decided between you. They stand before you, closer than ever, eyes locked to yours with an intensity that steals your breath before you've even spoken. There's no need for words here. Everything you feel is flowing through the air, moving between you like heat between two suns. Their gaze travels down your face, lingering at your mouth, not possessively, but reverently, as if memorizing the gravity of your expression. You feel their energy like a storm held just beneath the skin, powerful, waiting, asking permission without sound. And all you do is breathe, and that breath is answer enough. When they raise their hand to your face, their touch is featherlight, and yet it ignites a cascade of sensation that rolls through your body like a tide. Their fingertips follow the curve of your cheek, the line of your jaw, barely grazing, but leaving trails of warmth that bloom and linger. You close your eyes, not in retreat, but in surrender, trusting the moment, trusting the way your body leans into theirs before your mind can catch up. You feel the quiet gasp in your throat, the soft trembling in your limbs, and you let it come. You let yourself be seen. They step closer, and now you feel them fully. The proximity of their body, the current between you, tightening like a magnetic field. Their hands find your waist, resting lightly, grounding you even as your breath quickens. Your own hands rise as if of their own accord, finding the space just above their heart. Beneath your palms, their heartbeat thrums, not frantic, but strong, steady, alive. The nearness is almost unbearable in its sweetness, a kind of intensity that burns gently from the inside out. You open your eyes, and they are still watching you, completely present, completely there. Time seems to stretch and fold around you as they lean forward, forehead meeting yours, your noses brushing, your breaths blending. You don't kiss, not yet, but the moment is full of it, charged with the gravity of something that's been waiting, yearning, deepening for so long. You feel the heat of their breath on your lips, the way their fingers tighten just slightly at your back, the way your whole body sways toward theirs. The space between your mouths holds more intimacy than any touch, or promise than any word. You whisper their name, and it trembles in the air like silk. When their lips finally find yours, it's not rushed or wild. It's slow, anchoring deep. A kiss that doesn't take, but gives. One that speaks in heat and stillness, in pauses and pressure. Their mouth moves against yours with aching tenderness, and your hands rise to cradle their face, your thumbs brushing the curve of their cheeks. Everything about the moment feels holy, like the collision of two stars that somehow doesn't destroy, but creates. You kiss them with your whole self, and in return, you feel yourself being kissed into being. The dream shifts again, not in setting, but in sensation. The kiss deepens, and so does the atmosphere. You are surrounded now by warmth, by golden light, by the hush of wind circling your bodies like a spell. Their arms slip around you, drawing you in, and your bodies align as though they've done this 1,000 times before. There is no urgency, no rush to reach a destination. Just the joy of closeness, the delicious ache of long-awaited contact. You feel their chest against yours, the curve of their hip, the way their hands memorize the shape of your back. You move together as if dancing, swaying slowly, turning gently in the silence. Their lips move to your jaw, then your temple, leaving behind trails of breath and reverence. Every part of you feels illuminated, not just touched, but awakened. You feel your body soften, open, welcome, not with abandon, but with intention. Their hands are careful, exploratory, seeking not conquest, but communion. You press closer, and the boundary between your bodies feels thinner now, as if the dream itself has allowed you to truly meet, not just in soul, but in skin. You hear their voice again, low and warm against your ear. They speak not in sentences, but in murmured fragments. Your name, a sigh, something about how long they've waited. You respond not with words, but with the way your hands tighten at their shoulders, the way your face rests at the curve of their neck. The moment is full of sensation, the brush of breath, the weight of their presence, the hum of your hearts beating close together. The world around you disappears, and it's only this, the heat of them, the peace of it, the deep, sacred ache of belonging. You are lying now, not in a bed, but in something softer than earth, warmer than dreams. They are beside you, half over you, their body a shelter, their gaze aflame. You hold each other as though you've always done so, as if your bones remember. Your legs tangle, your hands map new territory, not frantically, but with reverence, with delight. Their fingers find the inside of your wrist, the hollow of your collarbone, the curve behind your knee. Every touch is deliberate, every pause full of meaning. You laugh softly, not from humor, but from joy, from relief. The silence between you is no longer empty. It pulses with understanding. With every glance, every shift of weight, every shared breath, you speak a language that needs no translation. You press your forehead to theirs, eyes half closed, and breathe them in. They smell like memory and firelight, like something impossible to name, but utterly real. You let yourself rest into the feeling, trusting the safety of their hands, the truth in the way they hold you. The intimacy here is not in what's done, but in what's felt, the heat, the stillness, the yes. The moment slows, deepens. You lie chest to chest, legs still entangled, one hand cupping their neck, the other tracing circles over their shoulder. Their skin feels like a story, like a page you've longed to read. They hum softly, the vibration passing from their body into yours, a shared current that doesn't need to be explained. You feel more alive than ever, more grounded, more weightless, as if this encounter has not just happened in a dream, but rewritten something in the core of who you are. You whisper something, not for them to hear, but to let it live in the space between you. When you both begin to drift, you don't pull away. You remain folded together, your heart against theirs, their breath a lullaby in your hair. There is no tension now, only presence. No reaching, no wondering, just being. You kiss their shoulder, their jaw, the hollow of their throat, not out of desire, but out of gratitude. Their fingers stroke your spine in slow, gentle lines, and the air around you sparkles with the soft hum of completion. The dream holds you both, wrapped in gold as the night prepares to fade. Before the world begins to dissolve, you look into their eyes one last time. And what you see there isn't just affection, it's awe. As if even in this place where anything is possible, they are astonished that you are real, that you chose them, that they are known. You press a kiss to their lips, slow and deep, and let the warmth carry through your entire body. A silent promise hums between you, that this was not a beginning nor an end, but a remembering. and that next time, you'll find each other again. As the dream begins to recede, you hold them tighter, not with desperation, but with peace. Your bodies begin to lighten, the weight of the moment slowly lifting, but the feeling remains. Their hand is still in yours, their breath still warming your shoulder. And just before you wake, they whisper something you don't fully hear, but feel, a word, a name, a vow. And it stays with you, humming in your bones, long after your eyes open to the morning light. The dream does not begin again. It continues, uninterrupted, like a long exhale you didn't realize you were holding. The space between you is gone now, not just in distance, but in essence. You are no longer two silhouettes reaching, but a single pulse in a shared rhythm. Their hand, once tentative, now holds yours with reverent certainty. Your breath moves as one, and the world beyond your skin begins to soften, blur, dissolve. There is only this, the feeling of being seen, being chosen, being claimed without being possessed. You lie together beneath a sky that flickers with memories, not stars, but fragments of other nights, other lives, glimmers of things once felt and never forgotten. Their voice echoes softly inside you, though no words are spoken. You feel their thoughts brush against yours like petals across bare skin, delicate and undeniable. It's not telepathy, it's communion. The truth of who you are no longer needs to be said. It is known. It is felt. It hums in the way their fingers trace invisible patterns along the inside of your arm. You are no longer dreaming within the dream. You are dreaming as the dream. The landscape you inhabit shapes itself around your breathing. A tide rises when your lips meet again. A breeze stirs when your hands clasp at their back. You feel the world responding to you both, not as spectators, but as co-creators of this sacred unfolding. Their presence is not beside you anymore. It is through you. You are filled with them, not in body alone, but in light, in longing, in the way their soul echoes through yours like a remembered melody. The kiss is no longer a gesture. It's a return. As your mouths meet again, it is slow, deep, rich with memory and promise. Your fingers slide into their hair and hold them there, not with force, but with devotion. Every part of you softens into them. There is no need for urgency. This is not the climax of passion. It is the union of knowing, the kind of closeness that vibrates beneath the skin and folds itself into the heart. You feel the surrender in their breath, the exhale that says, "Yes, I am yours, and I have always been." Their hands are everywhere and nowhere, not touching, but entering through warmth, gaze, intention. You feel yourself unraveling, but not falling apart, more like unfolding, petal by petal, beneath the heat of a sun that finally sees you. You arch slightly beneath them, not out of desire alone, but out of recognition. This is the moment you've been dreaming toward all along. This is the exhale after centuries of waiting. They whisper your name, not in repetition but in reverence, as though each syllable were a vow made flesh. You speak, finally, not in full thoughts, but in truths too big for language. "I remember you," you whisper. "I've always remembered you." The tears in your eyes aren't from sorrow. They are from homecoming. Their gaze grows wide with wonder, as if the words called something ancient awake inside them. "Yes," they murmur. "Yes, I feel it too. It was always you." And the moment stretches, glows, expands beyond the edges of the dream, folding your spirits together like threads that once frayed apart and have now found their weave again. You feel them press their forehead to yours, and in that touch, you see flashes, lifetimes overlapping, hearts colliding in cities and storms, voices crying out across deserts, across wars, across silence. Each memory is not clear, but real. Each fragment a thread tying this moment tighter. You are not just lovers in this dream. You are echoes of yourselves through time. And here, in this breathless now, you are whole. You are back where you began, and farther than you've ever been. You wrap your arms around them, and they do the same, your bodies folding into each other like rivers meeting. There's no longer a beginning or an end. You feel the heat at your core not as fire, but as light, the kind that warms, heals, restores. The kind that says, you are safe here. You tilt your head and press your lips to the hollow between their shoulder and neck, and in that kiss lives every longing you've ever swallowed. They tighten their grip, not to hold you in place, but to hold the moment from vanishing too soon. The world around you begins to glow, not with fire, but with memory. The trees shimmer like lanterns. The wind carries your names in harmony. You are not simply dreaming anymore. You are being dreamed. This moment, this union, has been waiting in the architecture of the cosmos. Every breath, every hesitation, every step across every continent has led to this hush, this communion, this stillness full of stars. You both begin to cry, not from sadness, but from beauty. The beauty of being found, the beauty of being known without explanation. Their thumb brushes your cheek, catching a tear, and they smile at you with a depth that reaches your bones. You've been in all my dreams, they say, but this one feels like it will never end. You kiss them, tasting the salt of joy, and for a long, endless moment, you believe them. You believe this will last forever, that nothing will pull you apart again. You lie together, tangled and glowing, and your heart beats not in your chest, but in the space between you. The breath you share is not air, but something softer, something that binds. You murmur things you can't remember later, words born of soul rather than mind, and they answer with the same softness, the same urgency. Stay, you say, though the dream begins to fade. I'm here, they promise. I'll find you again. The sky begins to lighten, the dream losing its edges, and yet neither of you moves. You cling, not in desperation, but in devotion. You have tasted something sacred, and it lingers, in your chest, in your skin, in your spirit. You kiss once more, not as goodbye, but as invocation, a reminder, a seal. And when they whisper your name one last time, it carries more weight than any declaration. It carries the truth of everything that passed between you. You are floating now, not away, but upward, inward. Your hands still seek them, and their fingers remain laced with yours, even as the light shifts. The world beyond the dream begins to tug gently at your awareness. But before you go, you look at them one last time. I'll remember, you say, and the look they give you is so full of love, so full of light, it feels like the rising sun. The dream dissolves, petal by petal, golden light giving way to gray. You feel your body returning to its bed, your breath adjusting to the rhythm of waking. But nothing has been lost. Their presence lingers in the way your chest rises, in the whisper of their voice still echoing in your ears. They are not gone. They are folded into you now, stitched into your being like thread through silk. And just before your eyes open, just before the world returns, you hear them again, faint but certain, as if spoken across oceans and night. Same time tomorrow, they say, and your soul smiles. Because yes, always, tomorrow and every night after. The dream no longer hums with urgency. Now it breathes slowly, like the ocean after a storm. You lie still beside them, your bodies aligned in perfect, effortless symmetry, as if gravity itself has shifted to make this rest possible. There is no need to speak, no question to ask or answer. Everything has already been said in the language of warmth, of eyes closed in trust, of limbs intertwined with ease. The silence between you is not empty. It is sacred, a space made holy by how fully you both chose to remain. Their fingers trace lazy circles against your back, barely touching, like a breeze gliding across still water. The sensation is almost nothing, and yet it anchors you completely. With every pass of their skin on yours, you feel your breath deepen, your body sink further into this place of surrender. Their breath warms your shoulder, soft and even, and you match it instinctively. Your bodies no longer move with desire, they move with understanding. You could stay here forever. You would ask for nothing else. The landscape around you shifts gently, as dreams do, not with drama, but with softness. The sky is now pale rose and silver, the air thick with a golden hush. Somewhere in the distance, a bird calls once, then falls silent. It feels like the world is holding its breath, cradling you both in the stillness you've earned. There is no need for color or movement, just this muted glow, this deep quiet that settles into your chest like a memory being rewritten into peace. You feel their hand resting on your heart, steady and open, not grasping, not claiming, just present. And in that touch lives everything you didn't know you needed. It speaks of safety, of home, of a closeness that requires nothing more than existing together. You press your palm over theirs and hold it there, not to change anything, but to affirm what already is. That you are here, that they are real, that somehow, impossibly, this dream has become the truest thing you've known. You shift slightly, curling inward, and they follow you without thought, as if your movement has become their instinct. Their knee brushes yours, your forehead tucks beneath their chin, and in this quiet fold of bodies, you feel something ancient stir, a memory of being held like this long before you knew their name. You inhale deeply, taking in their scent, something familiar and gentle, like sun-warmed linen and pages of a book that's been read 100 times. You feel it settle deep inside your ribs. Time no longer matters here. You do not know how long you've been wrapped around each other, and it doesn't matter. The concept of beginning or end has vanished. There is only this breath, this heartbeat, this weight of a hand resting at the curve of your waist. When you open your eyes, theirs are already on you, not searching, just watching, not asking, just being. You smile, not because something is funny, but because you are full. So full of them that the only thing left to do is smile. They lean in and place a single kiss at the center of your brow. It is so soft you barely feel it, and yet it echoes through your whole body. A kiss without heat, without want, without question. A kiss that says, "Thank you for existing, for dreaming me into this place, for not waking up yet." Your throat tightens slightly, not with sorrow, but with the ache of knowing that this moment, like all dreams, must eventually fade. But for now, you are still here, still held, still whole. You run your fingers through their hair, slowly, as if memorizing the shape of their silence. They close their eyes, a soft hum rising from their chest. The sound vibrates against you and settles into your bones. You've never known this kind of quiet. Not the absence of sound, but the presence of peace. A silence that comforts, that says, you are no longer alone. You close your eyes again, too, letting your forehead rest against theirs, and in that small touch lives an entire conversation. You feel the pulse at their wrist, where your hand now rests. Strong, steady, familiar. It matches your own. And for a moment, you wonder if, in waking life, their body feels this same rhythm at the same time. If somewhere across the world, they are also resting more deeply tonight. If the energy that now hums between you will carry through the veil of sleep and into the quiet of morning light, you don't need the answer. The wondering itself is enough. Beautiful, soft, open. They begin to hum again. The same note as before, low and rounded, like a lullaby for two. You hum in response, barely audible, letting the sound stretch between your lips. Your voices melt together without harmony or melody, just a shared vibration, a shared knowing. You hold on to that hum like a tether, like a promise you both know you'll need soon. There's a golden warmth in the air now, a faint glow that begins to pull at the edges of the dream, You both feel it. The way time starts to whisper. The way waking tries to enter, gently, like a knock on a closed door. You do not rush. You do not panic. You simply shift closer, so close your noses brush. Your lashes flutter against one another's skin. You hold each other like pages of the same book. Press gently, knowing this chapter is near its end. You kiss once more, not out of desire, but as farewell. Their lips taste like memory now, like the echo of sweetness after the fruit has been eaten. They kiss you back with the same softness, the same stillness, the same knowing. No one speaks. The kiss is the goodbye, the lullaby, the seal. And when you finally pull away, there is no emptiness, only gratitude, only a fullness that will remain, even after the dream dissolves. They press their forehead to yours and close their eyes again. You match them. One final breath in unison. One final silence shared. You feel their hands slide down your back, not to possess, but to comfort. And in that last stroke, you feel them pass something to you, something invisible but heavy, a presence, a promise, a warmth that will linger long after you've opened your eyes. You hold them one last time, and it's not traumatic, not tearful. It's peaceful. It's the kind of goodbye that trusts in return, the kind of parting that doesn't fear distance, because something deeper than distance has been bridged. You kiss their temple and rest your cheek against theirs. And when the dream begins to dim around you, you do not resist. You simply whisper thank you. You simply smile. As the world begins to fade, their form softens in your arms. The light grows brighter around you both, and you feel your body beginning to wake. But something of them stays, in your skin, in your chest, in your breath. You do not wake alone. You carry the silence with you, the presence, the softness of their touch. And somewhere, far across the sea, they carry yours too. You wake again into the dream, though this time it feels different. The air carries a subtle charge, like the hush before a confession, like the moment when truth hovers just beyond the lips. They are already there, sitting in the same quiet landscape where your bodies first touched, but now they seem deeper somehow, as if they too have crossed a threshold. Their eyes meet yours, and in them you see not a question, but a door, one that only opens from the inside. You sit beside them without a word, and for a moment the silence stretches wide and golden. Then slowly they begin to speak. Their voice is low, as if the weight of the words requires softness. "There's something I've never told anyone," they say, and the phrase hangs in the air like a fragile flame. You don't interrupt. You simply listen, your hand finding theirs, your breath sensing to theirs again. They speak of a memory, old, aching, unresolved, a heartbreak that never healed, a love that ended without closure, a silence that shaped their life. As they speak, you feel their pain like a pulse inside your own chest, not as something heavy, but as something true, a part of them that had been hidden, and now, gently, is being placed into your hands. You hold it tenderly, not trying to fix it, not judging it, just witnessing, just being there. Their story twists through time, a letter never sent, a voice lost across borders, a moment when they almost gave up on love entirely. And then you came, they say, and suddenly, I wasn't alone anymore. You breathe in deeply and feel your own truth rise like a tide. It is your turn. Slowly, softly, you begin to speak. Your voice trembles at first, not from fear, but from the release of holding something too long. You tell them of your loneliness, of the nights you wandered through cities without names, searching for something you couldn't name. You describe the ache of waking from dreams that felt more real than life, of hearing a name you didn't know, but always recognized. And now, here they are. You both laugh softly at the strangeness of it all, how the heart knows long before the mind catches up. You tell them how you started writing down the dreams after the third night, certain that something was unfolding. You show them. In the dream, the notebook your sleeping self keeps beside the bed. They smile, their eyes shining with something between awe and relief. "I have one too," they whisper. "I never thought it meant anything." Until you. The landscape shifts, just slightly. The colors grow richer, the breeze warmer, as if the dream itself is responding to your honesty. You feel lighter, as if shedding these stories, these memories, has made room for something new. And yet, none of it feels rushed. The sharing is slow, like petals falling from a flower, one by one. You talk of old fears, of being too much or not enough. They nod, and with every confession, you feel them draw closer. Not physically, but soul to soul. Sometimes, you admit, I was afraid I had imagined you. They smile, and their thumb brushes gently across your cheek. I was afraid I'd never meet you again. That fear melts in the warmth between you. The dream holds you both like a gentle cocoon, a quiet chapel built of shared breaths and long-held truths. They lean forward and press their forehead to yours again, but this time it feels different. Not like reunion, like revelation. You feel something stir in the space between your hearts. Not passion, not longing, but recognition. A sense that you have known each other far longer than this dream, far deeper than this night. You speak of places you've never visited, but that feel familiar. Cities whose streets you could draw blindfolded. Scents you've never smelled in waking life, but would recognize instantly. I think we've met before. You say, not in this life, but in others. They nod slowly, and their voice drops to a whisper. I used to dream of someone when I was a child. I'd wake up crying because I missed them, even though I didn't know who they were. The truth of that memory swells in the silence. You understand it, not with your mind, but with your whole being. You remember, too, that same ache, that same yearning, that same feeling that someone was missing. You both close your eyes, and for a long moment, you simply breathe together. And in that shared breath, memories begin to surface, not from this lifetime, but from another. Hands held in a temple long turned to dust, eyes meeting across a battlefield, fingers brushing beneath the surface of water in a city that no longer exists. None of it makes sense, and yet all of it feels real. You are remembering together, dreaming backward, stitching lifetimes into a single thread. The dream now hums with a quiet magic, not fantastical, but sacred. You are not just lovers or dreamers. You are keepers of something vast and invisible, guardians of a story too old for words. You look into their eyes and see yourself reflected back, not as you are, but as you have always been, searching, reaching, finding. You smile, and they do too. The tears that fall are not sad. They are full of homecoming, of something long forgotten and finally found. Whatever this is, they whisper, it's bigger than us. You nod, but it brought us here. And in that moment, you feel peace. Not certainty, but peace. Because even if you never find the name for what you share, you know it by how it feels. Like gravity bending between souls. Like silence filled with meaning. Like meeting someone who carries your echo inside their chest. You lie back again beside them, and the dream dims to a soft twilight. The wind moves through the grass around you, as if whispering old poems in a language your bones remember. Their hand rests over your heart again, and you place yours atop it, mirroring the gesture. Thank you, they say, for finding me. And your heart answers without words. I never stopped looking. In the final hush of this shared night, they turn to you and ask the question you felt building all along. Do you think we'll ever meet awake? You don't answer right away. You don't need to. You take a breath, slow and full, and let your eyes hold theirs. Maybe we already have, you say. Maybe the dream is the truest part. And just before the dream begins to fade again, You whisper one last truth, one that lives between longing and surrender. Wherever you are, whatever time it is there, know that I'm dreaming of you too. And in the look they give you, full of tenderness, of tears unshed, of love unspoken but known, you feel something click into place. Not the end, just the remembering. The edges of the dream begin to soften, as if someone were slowly dimming the light on a stage. The colors grow hazy, the sounds more distant, like echoes drifting across water at dusk. You feel it before you see it, that subtle shift in the air, the pull of something beyond this shared world. Their hand is still in yours, but even the warmth of their palm feels lighter. Not absent, not gone, just beginning to let go. You inhale deeply, and the breath fills your chest with a quiet ache, not of loss, but of remembering, of knowing that something rare has occurred and will, inevitably, pass. They look at you with that same calm sadness you now carry in your own gaze, the understanding that no moment lasts forever, not even the most intimate ones woven in sleep. But there's no panic, no desperate clutching, only stillness, only grace. Their fingers glide down the length of your forearm, as if sketching you one last time into memory. The touch is feather-light, reverent, and lingering. Your skin holds the echo, the warmth, the shape. You lean into it, not to stop time, but to feel every second of it as it goes. You want this farewell to be conscious, full, beautiful. You want to look back and know you were truly present when the dream began to fade. Around you, the sky is no longer a place, but a feeling, pale and glowing, like breath turning to mist. The breeze carries no scent now, only a soft weight of goodbye. You turn toward them and see the details of their face start to blur, like watercolor left too long in the rain. But even as the image dissolves, the presence remains clear. Their essence is intact. Their soul is still pressed against yours. They whisper your name one last time, not as a call, but as a benediction. And something in you breaks and heals at once. You answer with theirs, and the two names hang together in the silence, two stars pulsing against the edge of waking. No promises are made, no vows are spoken. But in that exchange, a truth is sealed, that what you shared was real, that what you carry now will not vanish with the dream. Your bodies shift, mirroring the way the world is shifting around you. You sit together one final time, knees touching, foreheads almost meeting, eyes open. Neither of you tries to stop what's coming. There is no illusion of control, just presence, just kindness, just the sacred pause between heartbeats when all things are possible and all things must pass. Will you remember me? You ask, your voice a breath. They smile, not sadly, but softly, with a patience that wraps around you like the final warmth of the sun before night. I already do, they say, even before I met you. That answer settles into your chest like a balm. You close your eyes and let it root there. Deep, quiet, forever. The wind moves again, more insistent now, like morning brushing against your skin. You feel your body begin to pull upward, as if waking is a tide you can no longer resist. Still, you stay a little longer, anchoring yourself in the final moments. Their hands move to your face, both of them cradling your cheeks, and the gesture is not dramatic, it's sacred, as if they are memorizing the shape of your soul, not just your skin. You don't need to speak anymore. Words would only break the spell. Instead, you let the silence stretch once more, like silk between you. You breathe in, they breathe out, and the two of you complete each other one last time, not in touch, not in sound, but in stillness, in the space where all things converge and vanish. Slowly you stand, and they rise with you. Your arms wrap around each other again, tighter than before, yet more accepting. This embrace is not about holding on. It's about honoring, about letting the other feel fully seen before parting. Their chest against yours, The steady rise and fall, the echo of a heartbeat that somehow matches your own. You imprint it into your bones. The light grows stronger, bleeding into the edges of the scene. You can see now that it is almost time. Time to wake. Time to return. You step back, just enough to look into their eyes once more. There is no fear in them, only trust, and the tiniest shimmer of tears that do not fall. You lift your hand and place it over their heart. They do the same to you. One last promise without words. The dream begins to unravel now, not in chaos, but like a slow, elegant closing, a curtain falling, a candle flickering out. You hear their voice one last time, but not from their lips. From within, "I'll find you again," it says. Or perhaps you say it. Or perhaps it is both of you, speaking at once from different corners of the world in perfect harmony. The ground beneath your feet softens. Your vision grows bright. The sounds of your room begin to bleed in. A bird outside, a creak in the wall, the quiet stir of sheets. But before the dream fully vanishes, you feel one last touch, featherlight on your hand, as if someone had just let go. And in that gesture, you know they're still with you. That distance never truly wins when hearts are awake together. You open your eyes slowly. The ceiling is familiar. The room is yours, but something has changed. The air feels different, charged, sacred. You bring your hand to your chest and feel the echo of their touch. You lie still, listening, breathing, letting the memory of the dream stay with you. You do not rush to move. You are still halfway in the in-between, and you want to linger here, just a little longer. Across the world, in another room, in another life, they open their eyes too. They touch their lips as if kissed in sleep. They smile, faint and knowing. Neither of you speaks, but you both feel it. The connection remains. The thread is still intact. And maybe tonight, or maybe years from now, the dream will return. Or you will meet at last, not in sleep, but in daylight. And when you do, you'll recognize each other instantly, by the silence that felt like home. You're still lying there, eyes closed or just half open, your breath slow, your heart quiet. The story has folded itself into your skin now, like the last trace of warmth left by a hand you didn't want to let go of. Maybe you're thinking of them. The dream voice, the distant soul, the presence that felt so close. Or maybe you're thinking of your own dreams, the ones that wait just beyond the edge of sleep, or the ones you once tucked away in silence. Let yourself linger here a little longer, in this space where memory and dream and body all speak in the same soft rhythm. There's no need to move, no need to answer, just be here, with the afterglow of something beautiful, something you may never fully explain, and yet you'll always feel when you close your eyes. Sometimes love arrives when the world is quietest. Sometimes it crosses oceans without a map. Sometimes it finds you in sleep, not to disappear come morning, but to remind you that someone, somewhere, is dreaming of you too. If this story stirred something in you, a feeling, a memory, a longing, I hope you'll keep it close. And if you'd like to stay connected, you're gently invited to subscribe. Perhaps share where you're listening from, what time it is where you are, or even who you thought of as you listened. I read every message as if it were a whisper left under my pillow. And when you're ready, you can close your eyes again. Maybe the dream isn't over. Maybe it just changed shape. Maybe tonight, or in some distant place, that thread will pull again, gently, back toward them. Until then, rest well. Let your breath guide you. Let your body soften. And if the dreams find you again, I hope they bring you the kind of love that lingers. Good night, wherever you are.